indeed, and welcome to our live broadcast of tonight's hefty one. The die is truly cast, the clash of dons, as it will be called. Anthony Joshua, Nigerian British or British Nigeria, as it were, has his hand full with a Mexican American, Junior Ruiz. They say tonight is the night. We have barely few hours to that, and of course it will all come down to who is ready to take that trophy. Will the Mexican take it back to America, or will Anthony Joshua bring it to the UK? On that note, we welcome you to our live broadcast of the big fight. Talk is over now. It's time for the real deal. And to talk about the real deal with me, a man who forever ready to pour out their hearts and of course tell you exactly what they feel about it. I haven't changed my name, I won't. On the day I do, you will be the first to know. Chris Obukwalo is my name. Again, thank you for joining us on our live broadcast of Anthony Joshua and Ruiz Jr. on the Clash 2 fight. My far right, I have Idris Adeshino, and of course we also have Anthony Mwigwe. They have all clustered around for this. They say no, they sleep and wait while while we sort out this. While we sort out who exactly should be. Gentlemen, good evening.
So it's Anthony Baba's Anthony.
And it's I mean, too much to talk about, but guys, without even wasting time, Tony, let me start from you. This is the time we're waiting for. We've talked about it. It's now or never.
Yeah, it's the fight of two A's. That's the thing, you know, the Andes and the Anthonys. So the thing is, the good thing about the whole thing is that it will be a redemption fight, because the redemption in the sense that Anthony Joshua has to redeem himself with this fight, and it was a shame what happened to him anyway, because of to see him go down the way he went, you know, was a big shock and a big surprise to everybody around the world. People never thought of that picture ever. So, and now everybody's trying to see, okay, how is he going to come back to it? Yes, there's a lot of fighters that have come back from defeats, you know, so because as a good fighter, you must come back from whatever defeat that you have. Mike Tyson did it, so also is all the legends from Muhammad Ali and all the rest of it. So it is not a shameful thing. Nobody has the record apart from Rocky Marciano. All we want to see now is to see how he will be able to cope with what happened to him before mentally, and to see how he will be able to produce that now on the ring. And I think if he is able to block the defeat away from his head that happened to him before, he will have a good fight. And I think Andy Ruiz will not be a match for him. But he needs to block off that defeat side of his head and bring back who he was before the defeat.
Before now, many people don't know who Andy was. Actually, he was a write-off before the June fight. But then again, after doing what he did to Anthony Joshua, the world turned to know who Andy was. This is the fight for him. Will he take the battle, and will he take his belt back to America?
Yeah, I will be sentimental, naturally. I want Joshua to win this. It's a glory to all of us. It's a glory to the black race. It's a glory to Nigeria. It's not because we want him to win, it's because we know he can do it. He has risen through the ranks, the Olympics and everything, because he became a professional. And he has engaged one of the more powerful fighters than Andy. To see him go down the way he went is an image that will forever also haunt him too. Yes, everybody wants to be great. My proverb in Africa, in the Yoruba proverb, say, if you want to be tall, you must have a long leg. Tony has a long leg. because he's tall. If you want to be there, you must go through this process. Apart from the measurable, every person, apart from one, had gone through it. Have they responded? Yes. It would have been rumble in Saudi Arabia to make it to compare it to the rumble in Zambia. Yes, rumble in the jungle. That is how big it is. You know, when Muhammad lost that fight, he came back with annoyance, with anger. And it was almost a fight to kill each other. Anybody could have won that game until they called the universal team call off, and he was still beat at it tomorrow. So that is the reaction I want to see in him. He has the height, he has the stature, he has gone through different stages before he became a professional. I mean, he fought in the Olympics.
But all of this he has before Louis he got to...
Look, how many defeats has he suffered before this?
Only one from Dylan.
Only one.
When they were still...
we are still at amateur level. So this is professional now. Somebody who has retired Klitschko, who has fought so many things. We should see the defeat as a lesson for him. If you look at the story I published today, I went back in history to look at the history of every one of them who had suffered this. And every one of them, I tried to recall what they said about this, and they said, look, it's a good test for him. Let's see whether he's going to join the greats, those who have come back. Tyson had lost back before, he has come back. Mohamed Ali has done that. Duplessis has lost, he has come back. So many of them have lost, including a great fighters in Britain.
It takes legs to do that, but Hunter does have the legs. He's a younger, more athletic fighter, so get down there, double jab downstairs.
Yeah, and to your earlier question, Brian.
They've lost and come back. David A has lost his comeback. He's retired today. So I don't see it as a setback. Even the media portrays it as a setback. No. Teams lose. Life is give and take. But today he has a rematch. And because he knows that anything could happen in boxing before, that's why they planned a rematch. That it could happen. So that means it's not entirely new to him, even if it was a shock. Then it was a shock because he never thought Andy to produce that. Yeah. Andy has the power. Now he has gone for speed. He's lighter. How he's able to absorb the shock. How long he's able to fight. Because it's a journey of, it's a contact game. It's a journey of stretch. Whatever they have told him now, whatever he has learned himself, he's a professional now. We are not.
Guys,
so
there are many angles.
So many angles to it. The politics angle too is to it. The background, the support,
that's why we have opened the show up, because we're going to come to that and eventually look at each one of those angles and see what perhaps could lead Anthony Joshua on, or what could leave Andy running with that belt. It's your program, and of course it is our coverage of the big fight coming, few hours from now, if we could say. So much to talk, and I also have to tell you that somewhere Heritage TV in partnership have also made sure that some fans could also, see the boxing thing. We'll get to show you all of that and how they are all getting on and rumbling. And now we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we will be looking at this fight in a very crucial way. Andy and Anthony, who takes the belt home. Stay with us.
Everybody in London, have you heard that Heritage Television has come up with something new? All your functions and celebrations can now be multi-camera live stream. That was only reserved for the rich and famous. Having a function in London can be viewed clean and clear immediately from any part of the world. Trust Heritage TV to give you a better reach. Heritage Television also does photography that will make you the envy of all your friends and family. Heritage Television is the best. All your functions like birthdays, funerals, weddings, church anniversaries or harvest. Heritage Television is the master. We are in the heart of London with an ultra-modern equipped studio. You can call us on 020-800-46100 or email us info@heritagetv.co.uk or mobile 0734 1234 560. Heritage Television will do you proud.
It's Christmas! Hello, my name is Beyonce. Hello, my name is Kanye. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year!
.210 to get up to 230. Well, I mean, that's the old school way of thinking. I agree with you. I'm a meat lover myself, but nowadays science says that, look, vegetarians and animals that don't
What's the Heritage TV? La 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 la. Heritage TV.
Everybody in London, have you heard that Heritage Television has come up with something new? All your functions and celebrations can now be multi-camera live stream that was only reserved for the rich and famous. Having a function in London can be viewed clean and clear immediately from any part of the world. Trust Heritage TV to give you a better reach. Heritage Television also does photography that will make you the envy of all your friends and family. Heritage Television is the best. All your functions like birthdays, funerals, weddings, church anniversaries or harvest. Heritage Television is the master. We are in the heart of London with an ultra-modern equipped studio. You can call us on 020-800-46100 or email us info@heritagetv.co.uk or mobile 0734 1234 560. Heritage Television will do you proud.
Heritage coverage of the big fight coming any moment from now. Anthony Joshua against Andy Ruiz Jr. And here in the studios with me is Tony Wigwe, and of course, not forgetting Idris Adesina, who've been x-raying what exactly will be happening tonight. Who takes that medal, who takes that belt home. But before we continue with all our discussion, let's quickly run to a man who is in London, watching from London, Ben Gray. I'm not sure why he is not in Saudi Arabia. This is a man who goes everywhere in the world to see the boxing fight. Ben Gray, welcome to our coverage. How are you doing?
I'm very good, Chris. Thank you very much.
Good.
Looking forward to a great fight.
Going on. I mean, so much to talk about in terms of this fight. I need your analysis.
Absolutely. It's a fight that's inspired everyone. When Andy Ruiz first stepped up, no one was really interested. He was a late notice substitute. Obviously, he won. He beat Anthony Joshua. But now the whole world is tuned into this fight and excited for the rematch. It's definitely a 50-50 fight. Anthony Joshua is going to need to be absolutely at his best to win this fight.
Good. Plenty of people have talked about the weight loss. I mean, the two boxers have lost weight. But then again, for Andy Ruiz, many people believe that it was his weight that helped him out in the first fight. But now he has lost most of it. Wouldn't that be a tamper to him, you think?
The weight issue, I think I heard you talking about the weight issue. So Anthony Joshua's coming 10 pounds lighter, 16 stone, 13 pounds. And Ruiz has come in at 20 stone and 3 pounds, which is a huge addition. I think he's put on 15 pounds. There's a suggestion that he was actually had some weights in his pocket at the weigh-in to basically get inside Anthony Joshua's head and make him think that he's put on a lot of weight. So it's a big talking point at the moment, but Anthony Joshua looks in excellent shape and is at a very, very good weight. It looks like he's going to be moving, using the ring. It's a 22-foot ring, and he's going to be using that ring to keep away from Ruiz, maybe for a 12-round fight and try and win on points.
We can't talk about tonight without looking at what happened in June. What was the problem with Anthony Joshua in the first fight?
Well, there's all kinds of rumours and stories that he'd been knocked out in sparring, that he was drugged before the fight. Essentially, I don't think, and he said this himself, and I have to say, absolute credit to Anthony Joshua, because he didn't make any excuses. He said, no, the better man won on the night. He looked a little bit lacklustre in those rounds, but if you remember, in the third round, he put Ruiz on the floor. And I think really what happened there was because Deontay Wilder had knocked out someone 2 weeks before in one round, I think Anthony was basically trying to do a spectacular knockout himself, and he got careless. But he's obviously got the power to put Ruiz on the floor, but I think he needs to get back to boxing and actually box this fight like he did with Joseph Parker, really, where he just boxed and boxed and boxed. It's not about knocking him out. It's about winning the fight and looking good in the next fight. Just win the fight this time, any means necessary, but next time you can look good and knock people out. Good.
Let's talk about the distance. Many have said that it could go a distance, but in your opinion, do you think it's a distance battle, or will this be a quick one?
Sorry, Chris, I can't hear you. You have to speak up.
Would you think that this fight is going to go distance, or is it going to be a quick one?
I think there's a lot of people who are backing Ruiz, but my money is on Anthony Joshua to win on points. I think I saw him against Joseph Parker, and I know he can do it. He's got to box smart. He doesn't want to be boxing for the crowd. He doesn't want to be boxing for the audience. He wants to be boxing for the result. And I think that's where his mindset is. He's also got brought in a really good guy, a friend of mine called Angel Fernandez, who's a really good trainer to help the team. And I think they will have a plan to basically keep it long. Like if your viewers remember when Lennox Lewis fought David Tua, and basically just keep it long for 12 rounds and don't engage with him, and just win. The main thing is getting the win at the end of the night.
In your own professional view, I know plenty of people have been asking me about Anthony Joshua bringing a fight to Nigeria. Do you think he will do that in years to come?
Yeah, I think he will. I think he's obviously he was visited Nigeria recently. We had a small part in that, helped out a little bit with the team. Obviously, he's a very proud Nigerian, and I'm actually working with a number of people putting together the potential for Rumble in the Jungle 2. And I know that Anthony Joshua wants to fight in Nigeria. And wouldn't it be amazing if the biggest fight in world boxing came to Nigeria?
Yeah, that's right. Ben, great. Thank you very much for your time. We truly appreciate any day, anytime. You are brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ben Gray, every time ready for it, always ready to do. He has said it all. Young man called Anthony Joshua, if he wants to win this fight, needs to go and fight. There is no two ways about it.
Yeah, if you look at the analysis of Tony when he got to USA, he was enticed by the commercial aspect of it. He focused too much on commercial. Maybe that will help him this time around. We know what Tony Joshua can do. He has the height, he has the ability to box. Again, to me, he's gone for a lighter way. That helps him in terms of speed. In terms of, if you look at different professional heavyweight, they went for different things. Tyson, for instance, went for power. Tyson will take you the next 5 rounds. His own ability is to harass you around everywhere, take you out for 5 rounds. When they wanted to beat him, they studied him very well. That he never exceeded 5 rounds. So what they did was to train the next fighter, just avoid him everywhere, avoid him, take him along, drag the fighter along. The more he went, the tired. They work on the psychology that he gets very angry easily. If he couldn't do that in 5 rounds, 6 rounds, they took him out to a longer round where they knocked him off. So it depends on the strategy. I know that Joshua will have watched the last game. If you are going for speed, this guy still has the energy. How much can you absorb from him that will not be damaging to you? I know some boxers, for instance, Muhammad Ali, for instance, one of his biggest strategies when I listen to him is that he's ready for you to absorb. And that was what visually happened.
That right hand is found out, and he hits him again. Right off the jab, big uppercut on Povetkin. Wow. Povetkin showing a big, sturdy jaw.
Later, Ali will absorb until you are tired. He knows where to come in. Everybody has a different strategy. So I don't know which one Joshua is going to adopt today. But whatever he does, he must avoid punches. He must avoid punches. He must be able to. He's a professional. He's fought this man before. A little bit of weaknesses they will have seen in him. After all, if not because of what happened, he got this guy to the floor in that fight as well. Even third or fifth round, Junior was on the floor. So what happened? Those are the plugs. Which direction is going to go? Which model is he going to adopt? Now determines on. There's a difference between even when you adopt the model and when you actually get to the ring. When things happen, is there a fallback? Are you going to run around like Muhammad Ali, or are you going to take punches from him? Or are you going to get so close that you can do damage as early as possible? So it depends on what he is able to do.
Tony?
No, I think with the fight, he's been able to learn a lot, which is the good side of this thing, to see. He has done some changes during his training program, which also he invited a shorter sparring partner of the same height as Andy, so that he would now condition himself to that reach. Yeah, so, and with all these tactics changes, because of that is what he has learned from the other previous fight. So, in my own assessment is that he has to have a mentality. He has to create a mentality for himself now.
Talk about mentality a lot, yeah.
That, because that's the psychological side of things. Because at the back of his mind, he will be thinking, oh, this guy, if he hits me again one more time, I might go down. So if that is ringing behind his mind, that will lose a lot of focus for him. So, but if he's able to, sway away from that now, and then focus on the fight, and focus on the person right in front of him, that, oh, I'm just fighting this guy for the first time, that would give him a good match, and that would see him come out buoyantly, and then he needs to start boxing. He's not the page boy anymore now. He needs to be the rude boy inside the ring.
Good. So what's happening now is that we are going to quickly talk to another boxer who earlier this morning he was with us on ABC Sports, a program that comes to you live on Heritage TV, 10:20 thereabouts every Saturday. He came in and of course spoke to us about Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz fight. Dan Aziz also had his own fight next week, but before then he gave his own mark on what he thinks will happen later tonight. Let me quickly divert now. Your senior brother has his hand full this evening. It's a bout that everyone is really looking forward to. Anthony Joshua and Ruiz. Your take on that?
It's a difficult one, but essentially I think Joshua should get the win. Last time out he wasn't. I think he was not overlooking Ruiz, but he thought it was going to be a walk in the park. This time I think they've been very meticulous in their training. They've brought in new coaches. Well, one new coach, some sparring. I think this time they're more well prepared for Ruiz, and as you can see, Joshua's lost weight as well, so I think he's going to try and be a bit more agile. And yeah, essentially, I think maybe a late between 8 to 10 rounds KO for Joshua.
Good. We've also been told that there are plenty of people, storming down there to support Anthony Joshua. Lawrence is also there. I mean, you have some names that have gone down to show some support.
Yeah, Lawrence is down there. A good friend Joshua Buatsi is down there. I was there myself, but as you know, I'm getting prepared for my fight next week, so I couldn't really make the trip. But yeah, a lot of people from the UK, all over the world, have gone down there to support. It's like one of the biggest fights, heavyweight fights of like the century, so it's not one to be missed.
Good. If I might say, let me take your predictions when do you think is there going to be any knockout? And I know you say AJ will win because of the ties, but then again, where will anyone fall in this one?
Yeah, no, definitely. I believe it will be a late.
It will go a distance?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to go the distance. I think Joshua will take him out the late stages of the fight, between 8 to 12 rounds.
Wow, that's your prediction?
Yeah.
All right. Dan, I want to thank you very much, and of course wish you the best in your 14th fight. Please, let's see you immediately.